1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Minister of Planning has assured that all decisions regarding relaxation in the lockdown after the 9th of this month will be taken in consensus with the provinces. 23 deaths caused by coronavirus and 989 new cases of the infection have been reported in the country during the last 24 hours. The Petroleum Division says the country has sufficient stock of petroleum products for the next 15 days. The Information Minister says Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government firmly believes in fundamental constitutional and legal right of the freedom of expression. The Foreign Minister has urged the United Nations Secretary General to take notice of India's intensified persecution campaign in occupied Kashmir. In occupied Kashmir itself, 5 Indian Army personnel, including a colonel, were killed and 2 Mujahideen embraced martyrdom in an encounter in Hindwara today. And now the news in detail. The Minister for Planning and Development, Asad Umar, has assured to take all decisions regarding relaxation in the lockdown after the 9th of this month in consensus with the provinces. Briefing media persons in Islamabad today, he said the National Coordination Committee on Coronavirus will take the decision about the future course of action. Asad Umar said the decisions will be taken in such a manner that they do not paralyze our healthcare system. He said restrictions will be eased gradually in order to provide livelihood to the people. The minister said we have significantly enhanced the capacity of the healthcare system. He said we currently have 1,400 ventilators for coronavirus patients and 900 more will be added in the next 2 months. He said at present 35 coronavirus patients are on ventilators. Asad Umar said the country has now the capacity to develop medical equipment and soon the domestic production of ventilators will start. The minister said the country has 55 functional laboratories and we have the capacity to carry out over 14,000 corona tests on daily basis. He expressed satisfaction over the coronavirus that has not proved to be as contagious for Pakistanis when compared with Europe and the United States. He, however, stressed that we have to adopt the precautionary measures in order to avoid it getting contagious. Asad Umar said the economic impact of the lockdown on Pakistan is serious than the Western countries. The number of confirmed coronavirus cases in the country has soared to 19,103, according to National Command and Operations Centre. These include 7,106 cases in the Punjab, 7,102 in Sindh, 2,907 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 1,172 in Balochistan, 356 in Gilgit-Baltistan, 393 in the Islamabad Capital Territory, and 67 in Azad Kashmir. 4,817 patients have so far recovered, while the death toll from the virus stands at 440. 23 new deaths and 989 new cases have been reported during the last 24 hours. Prime Minister's focal person Naseem Rahman visited a shelter home at Barakau area of Islamabad today to review the measures taken for ensuring the observance of coronavirus precautions. Speaking on the occasion, he said cleanliness drive titled Keep Banaga Clean has been launched to transform the scope of the shelter homes from food and shelter towards promoting healthy lifestyle at the facilities in the wake of coronavirus. He said under the campaign, politicians, the civil society, private sector and affluent community members are being approached to procure soaps, sanitizers, gloves, facial masks for the shelter homes beneficiaries. A spokesperson of the Petroleum Division says sufficient stock of petroleum products is available in the country for the next 15 days. In a statement today, he said 285,000 million tons of petrol and 350,000 million tons of diesel is available in the country. In addition, 2 ships laden with petroleum products are docked at Kimari and Port Qasim. These contain 50,000 million tons of petrol and 55,000 million tons of diesel. The spokesperson appealed to the people to purchase petroleum products as per requirement. This is Radio Pakistan. The Information Minister Shibli Faraz has said the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government firmly believes in the fundamental constitutional and the legal right of freedom of expression. In his tweets today in connection with the World Press Freedom Day being observed today, he expressed the determination to provide all possible facilities for the promotion of an independent and responsible journalism. He said freedom of expression is the basis of a civilized democratic society and fundamental right of a human being. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has urged the United Nations Secretary General to take notice of India's intensified persecution campaign in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Talking to media persons in Lahore today, he regretted that the Indian government has not changed its posture regardless of the breakout of COVID-19 pandemic. The foreign minister pointed out that the siege of occupied Jammu and Kashmir is continuing. The Indian occupation forces are barging into houses of Kashmiri people and subjecting them to violence and torture. He said Pakistan will continue to highlight the plight of the Kashmiri people at different fora. Responding to a question, the foreign minister commended the assistance extended by China to Pakistan to cope with coronavirus challenge. He expressed gratitude to the Chinese president and the Chinese people for their timely assistance. The World Press Freedom Day is being observed today. The theme this year is Journalism Without Fear or Favor. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in his message on Press Freedom Day, said the media has a crucial role in helping people being informed decisions amidst the coronavirus challenge. He said the media provides an antidote to misinformation surrounding COVID-19. In connection with the World Press Freedom Day, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference Azad Jammu Kashmir chapter organized a demonstration outside the Islamabad Press Club to express solidarity with the oppressed journalists of occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The participants, carrying banners in support of the Kashmiri journalists, raised slogans condemning the Indian atrocities in the occupied territory. They said denial of freedom of speech in occupied Jammu and Kashmir is in violation of the international laws, and the world community should take notice of the plight of the Kashmiri journalists. Speaking on the occasion, Hurriyat leader Mir Tahir Masood said journalists in occupied Jammu and Kashmir are facing killings, arrests, intimidation and fake cases. He said the Indian authorities are abusing the journalists to conceal their atrocities in the valley. Meanwhile, on the occasion of the World Press Freedom Day today, the research section of the Kashmir Media Service in its report said the journalists in Indian-occupied Kashmir are booked under the draconian laws by the authorities for reporting the truth. It said the Indian authorities are harassing journalists to prevent them from reporting the Indian atrocities against the common people. In occupied Kashmir, an Indian Army colonel, a major, 2 soldiers and a police sub-inspector have been killed in a gunfight with the Mujahideen in Chanjimula area of Hindwara. According to Kashmir Media Service, 2 Mujahideen embraced martyrdom in the encounter. The Indian military authorities have also confirmed the casualties. Renowned Indian writer and defense analyst Praveen Sawani, while referring to the Indian Army's killings, said in a tweet that the Indian authorities are wasting soldiers in occupied Kashmir, knowing well that they could not win the war. North and South Koreas have exchanged gunfire in the demilitarized zone which divides them. According to South Korea's military, North Korea fired several gunshots that hit a guard post in the central border of Cheorwan. Such incidents across the world's most heavily fortified border are rare, and the last incident had occurred in 2017. Pope Francis has called for international scientific cooperation to discover a vaccine for the coronavirus. In his Sunday address, he said any successful vaccine should be made available around the world. He also thanked all those around the world who are providing essential services. And finally, the weather. Partly cloudy weather is expected in upper and central parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, wind with rain thunderstorm is expected in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Islamabad, Punjab, Kashmir, and Gilgit-Baltistan. Hailstorm is also expected at isolated places during the period. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.